Hey there, YouTubers! Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another chemistry video. Today is another installment in my series on the elements. Today, we are 2 videos away from my video on bonds. I don't know why I'm hyping that up. Honestly, that video is probably not going to be that great. Anyways, today we're talking about Group 7 or Group 17, better known as the halogens. The halogens are some of the most reactive and vile elements on the table. Today we're going to talk about the halogens, why they're in the section they are, their general characteristics, then we'll talk about each one individually, and then finally we'll talk about how you can make some of them. I'm running out of ideas, okay? I'm sorry. So, Group 7, or Group 17, as that says right there. Right, so when I said Group 7, this refers to the number of valence electrons each atom has in this group. All of the halogens have 7 valence electrons. This means they need 1 more electron to be stable, in accordance with the octet rule. Again, previous video if you want to learn more about that. This makes every element in this section very reactive, which leads us to talk about their characteristics. These elements are all, excluding astatine, nonmetals. Astatine is a metalloid, but more on that later. No, I will not mention it later. Each of these elements will react with things very violently. Despite the pure elements being dangerous, their compounds can be quite useful and safe. Table salt, or sodium chloride, is an ionic compound of chlorine and sodium. Both of these elements are very dangerous. Unlike the alkali metals, these elements are, as they get heavier, so as you go down the table, they become more stable. This makes the first element in this group, fluorine, the most reactive element on the periodic table. Alas, I am smitten. Well, I mean, I'm smitten with osmium. Other elements. But I have always found fluorine to be a fascinating element. But as I did my research for this episode on whether or not I can make fluorine at home, I fell in love with the element. So, sodium fluoride is a common salt added to water to help promote dental health. It also increases bone density, but it doesn't decrease your likelihood of bone fractures, so it's a bad drug for osteoporosis. But it's still a great thing for oral health, making sodium fluoride one of the most commonly prescribed drugs in the world. However, if you replace sodium with potassium, it becomes a vile chemical that can be used to make hydrofluoric acid when mixed with water. Hydrofluoric acid, when mixed with potassium fluoride, can then have an electrical current applied to it in a process called electrolysis to produce pure fluorine. Now, I'll talk about electrolysis in a minute, and that's not a lie. But I feel like I should mention a few more things about fluorine. Fluorine is a pale yellow gas. That is, if you ever get enough of it in a space, in a clear container, before it bonds to the sides of the container, or eats its way through the container and escapes. So, you know, good luck with that. Fluorine releases a lot of energy when it bonds with things. I've seen a stream of the gas blown over steel wool. The steel will burst into freaking flames. Like, what? That's how dangerous stuff is. And since it releases a lot of energy when it makes its bonds, those bonds are some of the strongest bonds you can possibly form. This means that its compounds are very strong. Teflon is a great example. Ah, the periodic table of elements. Breathtaking. Oh, hi there. I didn't know you were there. What's that? You're wondering how I know all of this information? I'm flattered. Well, I have online sources as per the usual. They're in the description. However, I do have a book I get most of the information from. That book is The Elements, a visual exploration of every known atom in the universe by Theodore Gray. It's an absolutely wonderful read if you're interested in the elements or chemistry, or it's just a great read in general. I read it when I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. I should have worn a gas mask for this section because it'd be so much more suiting for chlorine. Anyways, as you move down the table, you run into chlorine, another vile gas. Chlorine is a pale green gas. Some people say it's a pale yellow. I think it's pale green. If anything, it's a green yellow, a yellowish green, but that's not a thing, so deal with it. Almost all of you have smelled it at least once in your life. If you've ever gone to the pool or have smelled bleach, you have smelled chlorine. It brings up one of its major uses as a cleaner. In the form of pool chlorine or bleach, it will kill almost anything, including COVID-19, if that even counts as being alive.
We don't condone the consumption or the injection of any of these chemicals.
Thank you, Kyle. Yes, do not consume these. Well, you can probably consume sodium fluoride. That's a good thing. And sodium chloride if you're low on salt. And potassium iodide. That's also a good thing to consume. The rest of them, don't. Chlorine is also in table salt. Oh wow, there it is. It's also, when it's bonded with sodium, it is also what makes up your stomach acid in the form of hydrochloric acid, which you can buy from Walmart in gallon jugs as a heavy household cleaner. Now, chlorine is most famous for its use in chemical weapons in World War I. There goes the gas masks I was just talking about. Death by chlorine inhalation sounds awful. I have actually accidentally sniffed pool cleaner before, and it felt like my nose was on fire. My spit tasted like pool water, like really, really, really strong pool water for like a minute. Don't smell random white powders you find on the ground.
Why not?
Well, it could be cocaine, meth, or pool cleaner. I mean, I could tell it kind of smelled like chlorine at a distance, but I wasn't sure. So I put some on my hands and it was just... And then, I don't know what happened, but it got right into my nose, and that was it.
You're supposed to waft it.
I don't know what happened. I don't remember. I just remember tasting bleach.
Big brain movement.
Very. So I can't even imagine how those brave men and women felt as their lungs basically burned. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California. Adams. I am probably a terrible singer, and I probably just made your ears bleed. But hey, at least this devilish face doesn't make your eyes bleed, right? Right, Kyle?
I'm done with you.
Now, as much fun as it is for me to talk about these elements, you probably want to see some samples by now. Now, you can't get fluorine samples. That's simply impossible. And I haven't seen any chlorine samples, but that doesn't mean we can't make any. We could make fluorine, but I don't have the correct glassware, because it's technically not glass, it's quartz, or platinum. So we're just going to make chlorine with a solution of salt and water. Which brings us to electrolysis and how that works. So you have an anode and a cathode and a solution of water with some electrolyte dissolved into solution. You must have electrolyte because pure water is an electrical insulator. As the anode reacts with the water, oxygen is produced and a proton. This proton is attracted to the cathode where it's given an electron and hydrogen is produced. On an industrial scale, this is precisely how hydrogen and oxygen are produced. If we add enough electrolytes, something else happens. If you want to produce just oxygen and hydrogen, I suggest you use sodium hydroxide instead of salt. But if we add a bunch of table salt, you get chlorine at the anode and hydrogen at the cathode, like always. But if we add sodium bromide instead of sodium chloride, we get bromine at the anode. Bromine is the next halogen, but I'll show a clip of me producing chlorine before we move on. So this is our salt water. Chlorine should generate here, hydrogen here, just like last time, except now it's chlorine instead of oxygen. Well, it'd be chlorine and oxygen. I wouldn't walk that direction. The chlorine's gonna go that way, if we get any. Do I want to take a whiff, or is that a bad idea?
I want to smell the chlorine.
I mean, I don't know, you try and smell that. You think we're getting anything?
I can see we are.
Oh, smell that? It's bleach. You can smell the bleach. This which is the chlorine, so. I'd say it's working quite well, actually. Actually, all that black stuff, that's from the carbon rods. The chlorine's eating away at it. Moving down, we have bromine, the second and last liquid at room temperature element. Bromine is a brown, almost red substance that is very volatile and emits bromine vapor. Bromine does not have a lot of uses. One of its major uses is in hot tub cleaners like this sodium bromide. Sodium bromide is used instead of chlorine compound because bromine is more effective at killing things at high temperatures compared to chlorine. As other uses in synthetic fabric as a flame retardant in children's pajamas. People question the safety of the bromine compound, but you should stop asking questions after seeing a child die in molten polyester pajamas.
Holy crap.
Not even my words. Not even my words. You already know the book plug. That's where that came from. Now, I could have bought bromine. I could have bought a bromine sample, and I still might. It cost me about $70. However, I could make it cheaper if I split the cost of production 3 ways between oxygen, chlorine, and bromine. Allow me to make bromine for just barely cheaper than buying a sample. So, unlike last time, bromine is not a gas. It won't float to the surface, it should sink. I've poured salt in on this side to make it more conductive instead of the lye, because the lye didn't really work. Now we're just gonna add some sodium bromide to this side. Oh, we're leaking quite a bit of water. Some more. Alright. Let's turn it on, shall we? We might have to adjust the current a little bit. Oh yeah, see how it's getting brown around it? You can see the positive side is getting a little brown. Right there. Turn the current up. Oh yeah, you can really tell now. Lots of hydrogen per the usual. We're only put 0.18 amps. Almost at 24, almost at 30 volts. But oh yeah, we're getting bromine. Wow. That's cool. A liquid element.
One of two.
One of two. It's exciting. I might let this one run a while, but I'll get back with you guys later. Or not later, I guess. I just want to see how long we can keep it. Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Iodine. The last stable halogen, if you can call the halogen stable, is iodine. Iodine is a dark, almost violet solid, or as you'll see with my sample, it kind of looks like a metal. Oh well. If you heat iodine, it will melt and then emit a deep violet vapor. Iodine, like the other halogens, finds its uses in disinfectants. It was and still is dissolved in alcohol to make a disinfectant. This type of disinfectant is used by my father on the farm when a lamb or calf is born. Oh, so cute. To prevent infections, he sprays their navels, with iodine to prevent sprays with iodine. Its other use is an iodized salt. This is table salt mixed with a very small amount of potassium iodide. Iodine is an essential micronutrient to ensure our thyroids function properly and to prevent the formation of goiters. Trust me, you don't want a goiter. Just Google a photo. Anyway, I don't have to make this element, but I'm not against trying. So subscribe and like the video, and maybe in the future I'll attempt to make fluorine and iodine. At Dr_sheep_YouTube. That's my Instagram. Go check it out.
Is that a plug?
It is a plug.
You're plugging your own channel on your channel?
Deal with it. Editors, I know you can't do this, but if you could, the deal with it classes.
You're not rich enough to have an editor.
I am the editor. I am a slave.
To your own creation.
And I don't even pick cotton. Wow, this is off the rails. Anyways, at any given moment, there's probably only a few grams of acetine in the Earth's crust. This is due to the fact that it is an extremely short life, half-life, I should say, and as to be constantly replenished. It's made from the radioactive decay of uranium or thorium. That being the case, at any moment, I can have an atom of the stuff in my uranium ore sample. However, the likelihood of that is extremely low. I'd have a better chance of getting a girlfriend. Oh wait. Acetine has no uses because of its short half-life. However, some are doing research to see if it could be used in medicine, like technetium. And thanks to this research, we know it is a metalloid, unlike the other halogens that are non-metals. Now, I have been skipping the last row of elements in every single section. But tennessine is the last halogen. So, yay. Well, we did it. There's only one section left to talk about on the table, and it's probably the most boring section, but I have an idea of how to try and spice it up. That's 2 weeks away, though, so in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos every other Friday, 2 p.m. Central Time, and
Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Oh, you're still here? I thought I told you to go home. Oh, you want more? I'm flattered. Check out the playlist. If you want exclusive content, check out my Instagram, Dr_sheep_YouTube. That's all lowercase. If you want to help the earth, subscribe. When I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to plant 10 trees. If you feel that's too small, then check out my channel chart where I lay out even bigger goals. Finally, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet watch time. Bye.